I never know how to start these videos. Can we just pretend I made some really cool intro and then now we're talking about the actual shit that you clicked on the video for? So a lot of you guys have been asking me recently, how do I improve some of my photography? What are some of the steps and precautions I need to be doing? So what I've done for you is I've summarized these into 5 and a bit steps. Step 1, get a camera. It doesn't need to be anything special, just make sure that it takes a photo. Step 2, shoot on RAW. And some of you might be asking me, Mike, why are we shooting on RAW? Because I fucking said so, that's why. If you shoot your images on a JPEG file, it condenses your pixels and makes your image look like shit. Shooting on RAW does the opposite of a JPEG. It doesn't compress your file and allows you to edit more detail out of your image to get the result that you want. The first and last time I ever shot a wedding, I met the photographer there, and he told me that he was shooting the entire wedding on JPEG because he doesn't want to deal with the high file size. I looked at this guy and I was thinking, who the fuck is this guy? Who hired you? How did you get this job? Why are you doing this? And then I looked outside the window and saw that he drove a Toyota Prius. And so it made a bit more sense. Step 3, get inspired. We are living in the best time right now to get inspired. We are globalized as a network together. There are so many outlets and platforms out there that allow you to look at other people's work for you to get inspired. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Flickr, Tumblr, and the list goes on and on and on. Look, you could probably even go into Google and type in like, fluffy sunset Tumblr. Boom! Look at all those fucking images. Look at all that shit. Look at all that inspiration you could be getting. Once you've found a couple of photos that you like, think about those photos. What about those images do you like? You gotta analyze that shit. I feel like my teachers were telling me this shit when I was back in school. But fuck school. You learn everything from me now. I'm your teacher. I am school now. You don't need those teachers anymore. I'm dead serious though. It actually helps a lot if you can go out, look at your inspiration, analyze what you get inspired by, and apply that to your images. Step 4, get a subject. Having a subject for your photos is always a plus, giving people something to look at, especially if it's a model. I actually don't have a model for today's example, so instead we're gonna go use my grandma's car.
Good job, first.
Step 4.5, your camera settings. If it's dark, you might need a tripod. You'll need to higher your ISO anywhere between 400 and 1600. You might need a wider aperture and lower your shutter speed. Generally, I would say a good rule of thumb is you shouldn't go any lower than 1/50th of a second unless you have really steady hands. Otherwise, you might need to put your camera on a tripod to get the shot. If you're still trying to figure out aperture, think about aperture as your eye. It works on the same basis. When you're in a dark room, your pupil in your eye opens up and expands to allow more light in so you can see better in the dark. Your camera works on the same basis. If your aperture is at 2.8, that means you're letting a lot of light into your lens, and it also allows your camera to get a nice creamy background. If you do the opposite and shoot on, let's say, f16, you're gonna get a lot more of the image in focus because less light is getting let into the camera. Generally, just remember these 3 things. Don't shoot too high on ISO because then you lose sharpness in your image. The higher number the aperture means the more in focus. The lower the number means less in focus. If you're shooting below 1/50th of a second, you may need a tripod to get a steady shot. Step 5. Shooting. When it comes down to art, you can't rush it. It doesn't matter if you're painting, making a video, or you're doing photography. Look at all the angles. You might have to get a bit lower to get the shot, or maybe go a bit higher. You might have to shoot through something or stand on something to get the shot. Take that 1 extra second just to think about the photo that you're shooting. You don't want to be trigger happy and take a whole bunch of shit photos because that's going to slow down your post-production time. So make sure you take a deep breath, analyze exactly what you want to shoot, look at your surroundings, and then get to work. That pretty much wraps up today's video. I hope I taught you guys some things that I like to use when I'm out shooting my photos. Before I finish off this video, I just want to let you know that there is still plenty of time to enter if you want to be in the running to win one of these prints. The winners are being announced on the 3rd of September. All you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just go ahead and do it, and you're in the running to win free shit. It's so simple. Fuck, I don't know why people don't do it.